Well, of course, it happens on the day that I already upload a video, but the New York Rangers finally get it done. Lafreniere and the Rangers come to an agreement, 2 years, 2.3 million AAV for his next contract. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I think that everyone knew that the signing was going to happen. Everyone knew the price range, that it was going to be in the 2 million to 2.5 million range. And it landed somewhere around in the middle at 2.3. It's unfortunate because I don't think he deserves more than Kako, but at the same time, I am not mad or shocked about it. Would I have preferred for the Rangers to maybe have sold high on Lafreniere and find another suitor and then potentially getting something more valuable back? Yeah, because I personally am not the biggest Lafreniere guy. I was when he was first drafted because who wasn't? But I just have slowly have grown to not love Lafreniere personally, and it kind of just has to do with the fact that obviously I don't know the guy personally, and what we see is what we see online. Everything could happen behind closed doors, but from what we see, at least, it just like concerns me the lack of work ethic at times. It feels like I'm not sure if he's putting in the work ethic that's needed. Like the fact that we're mostly seeing him post him playing baseball during the offseason is something that us Ranger fans just don't want to see. We want to see you out there on the ice working on your slap shot, working on your edge work, working on your skating, working on your acceleration. Like that's the stuff we want to see as fans. And it just is a little concerning that it obviously does not, it's just not what we see, and it just makes me question his work ethic. But at the end of the day, I could be wrong, and maybe he does have a strong work ethic behind the scenes, and we just don't know about it. But I am trying to find something that I saw Statboy Steven actually tweet the other day, how Alexis Lafreniere is like 10th in points per game or something like that at even strength, which from that draft class, which is like people want to say, oh, if he gets power play time, this and that, he'll be fine. But I question if that's even the case because it's like, again, these aren't necessarily the numbers that we need from him. We need better production from Lafreniere. I mean, even if you look at the point shares here from that draft class, number one is Tim Stützle by a wide margin. Lafreniere's up there, but I don't know. But regardless, it is what it is. And all I could do as a Ranger fan, all we could do as Ranger fans is hope that he takes the next step forward. And listen, am I ruling him out to take the next step forward? No, I'm not ruling it out because at the end of the day, he's still only 21 years old. So I'm not going to rule out that it's possible for him to have a spike in development out of nowhere, but it's going to take a lot more than just going out there every year and just playing the game. Like he needs to go out there and actually prove what he's worth because the nights that he's not producing and the nights that he takes off, he is invisible and noticeably invisible. And then when he is producing and actually doing things, it's like, wow, holy crap, this is the kid that we drafted at number one overall, or that the Rangers drafted at number one overall. That's the type of production that we want. Like you see some of these flashy goals they scores, it's like, okay, that's what we want to see more of. But the problem is he never is able to put it together consistently, and that's what's concerning. But we'll break down his numbers, and again, maybe he'll thrive more with Laviolette. Maybe he is putting in more work in the offseason. We don't know. I don't know. But I'm rooting for the guy at the end of the day. Last year in 81 games played, he had 39 points, 16 goals, 23 assists. The year before, he had 31 points in 79 games played, 19 goals, 12 assists. And his rookie year, he had 12 goals, 9 assists for 12 points. And he was a -7 his first year, +2 second year, plus 10 the next year. So he has gradually got more points, but again, it's like it feels like at the end of the year he always ends up heating up for like a good stretch. And it's like, okay, this is the kid that we need to see more of, and it just never ends up being the case. And then in the playoffs, obviously, we know what happened this past year. He was a complete no-show in the playoffs as he had no points, none in all 7 of those games. He had no points and was invisible. Did nothing at all, even on the defensive side of the puck. And It's just sad because again, I had high hopes and I really want him to thrive, but man, it's just bad the nights that he's invisible. And then even the first year, I mean, 9 points in 20 playoff games isn't bad, but 2 goals, 7 assists. A lot of that you could question is if it was thanks to Hedel and Kako. So I don't know. I hate to sound like I'm ripping on the guy and that I sound like I'm biasly hating him, but it's really not my attention. And I just have questions with him. I think it's fair to have questions with him considering this is going to be his 4th year in the NHL. And it's like, okay, when are we going to see at least effort on both ends of the puck on a consistent night? Because at least with Kako, on the nights that he's not producing, you notice him making some plays defensively, and you notice him even having some good offensive zone shifts. Where with Lafreniere, again, the nights that he's not producing, or some nights he just looks invisible. It's kind of like Kreider in a way, where he is, when he's hot, and when he's not producing, holy crap, is he invisible. But at even strength, his Corsi for percentage was at 51.9, which is definitely an improvement from the past 2 years. So that is something that is at least encouraging. His rate metrics, his shots per 60 was at a 6.3. Corsi for per 60 was at a 55.7. Corsi against per 60, 51.6. So not the worst numbers when you look at that. You look at his evolving hockey chart. He was actually a positive in Corsi against per 60, but everything else he was in the negatives. Slightly above for goals for per 60, but everything else he was in the negative. And then, yeah, again, I wish I could put these charts up, but yeah, an improvement again, I guess, from what we've seen, but you still want more. And then his SAT percentage for the team, he ranks 8th at 51.6, which is actually quite impressive considering the fact that Mika Zibanejad is down at 49.6, which is a little worrisome. I'll be honest with you. It's a little worrisome that he's that low considering he's the number 1 center on the team. And then I know that Lafreniere also has more even strength goals than Mika Zibanejad in X amount of games or whatever, but I don't know. It's just worrisome to me. And then we look at the miscellaneous stats. I want to see his block shots per 60. He ranks 25th at 1.36, 25th on the team. But again, it doesn't help that some guys played a couple games, so I could actually make it that they had to play, let's say, just 25 games. I think that's a fair amount. That would put him to 16th. So, which isn't, it's down towards the bottom of the list. Surprisingly above Kako, but yeah, it's takeaways per 60. That is 8th on the team, which is not bad either, actually. I'm actually a little shocked at some of the miscellaneous stats. 6 in hits per 60 on the team. Really? More than Barclay Goodrow. But some of these miscellaneous stats actually are shocking me. But, and I do want to look at one last thing, his penalty statistics. I want to see his net penalties per 60. That's a very CJet stat. Wow, his was at 0 flat, ranked 9th on the team. That's interesting. But yeah, again, it is what it is. I'm rooting for the guy to succeed, and I hope that he ends up proving me wrong and he ends up having an absurd career year this upcoming year. Because if he does, then the Rangers are going to go places. But if not, it's going to just be a question of when are we going to see him either put the work in or produce, and it's just going to be like trade questions are going to arise. I can assure you guys that trade questions will arise even more than they did this offseason if Lafreniere does not end up producing this upcoming season. But we will see. We will see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't hate the deal, like I said. Just again, just need to see more from the player. That's really all it is. But don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. But hey, he gives you solid production for $2.3 million. I will at least say that. But again, leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.